Hey, listen, this is the first Monday in March, and I was on here earlier, but I just wanted to come on here to say, make your best better. And I heard that from Les Brown. Can you believe Les Brown turned 80 years old? He has a twin brother. I didn't realize he had a twin brother. Let me try to change this lighting. Hold on. Oh, none, that was none at all. Les Brown has a twin brother, Wes. And if you don't already know Les Brown, he is a motivational speaker and has been on the circuit for many, many years, just sharing nuggets, helping people improve their lives personally and professionally. At one time or another, him and Gladys Knight were a power couple. They were married. And I always thought they were great together. But you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So they are no longer married, but he is still out here and he recently turned 80 years old. And I really respect his whole process of being who he is, how he's come about, and just his whole drive has been remarkable. And I love, even at 80, that he is still staying relevant, still putting out content, still hosting events and bringing on new clients all the time. I think that's dope, because he's doing what he loves. He's doing his passion and his purpose. But the other day I was listening to him and he was saying, we have to make our best better. Make our best better. And I just wanted to come on here to ask you, what does that look like for you? What does that mean to you? And loving myself is in the building. Hello to you. Welcome in. Hope you had a great day. It was great seeing you earlier too. But what does making your best better mean? I had put a post on my community wall about it because it just really resonated so much with me. And I feel like, so oftentimes when people they say given it their all, laid it all out there, left it on the field or what have you, that they just sit down and just are like, that's it, I'm done. And even if you've given it your all in that moment, that does not mean that there's not more to come. That doesn't mean that that's all you have, that's all you got. And a lot of times people respond, react, move like that was all they had and doesn't get any better than this. Your life, who you are as a person, in your personal life, in your professional life, can always improve, can always get better. So each and every day you should be looking at ways to get better, to make sure that your best is even better. That's why even after really great events that my team and I do, I always make sure we debrief, and we do a plus side, which is what went well. And then we do a delta side, which is what do we want to change for the next time. Anything that you're doing in your life, even in your relationships, consider, what are you doing well and what needs to be changed, what needs to be tweaked, what needs to be improved. And when you do that, that's how you always will make your best better. And I see Straight Facts is here. Hello. Taylor is here. There's a lot of interesting people in here today. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. I appreciate that. Loving myself, I'm glad you're in the building especially. So listen, what are you going to do, or what do you think you can do to make your best better? Do you do those debriefs with yourself, not even just with your team on a professional level, but on a personal level? Have you done a debrief on the areas in your life, the different types of relationships you may have as a mother, as a wife, as a husband, as a father, as an uncle, aunt, whatever, as a friend, as a daughter? Have you ever looked at those areas in your life and say, how can I be even better? I'm giving it my all. I'm doing my best, but how can I make my best better? If you haven't started doing that, I want you to start considering that for yourself in all areas of your life and figure out how you can be even better. Some people will say, well, when I'm doing what I do great, other people tend to get the credit for it, especially if you work in certain situations where you aren't the mouthpiece for the work that's been done. Someone else may be presenting it or rolling it out, and it's all your work. And I can tell you, I know that is very frustrating for sure. But even in those moments, you really want to check your posture. You know how I say practice every day, practice so hard, so when you play, you will play to win? Well, in those practice moments, you never know who's watching. And I've said that before too. You never know who's in the building, who is seeing, who is really doing the work. And trust, even if they don't see you, people typically know what's going on. They may not say it right then and there, but they sometimes want to see if that other person has the integrity to give credit where credit is due. And if they don't, trust, they don't stay at that level for long. So you have to check your posture, not get bent so far out of shape that you are sacrificing your brand. You know, sacrificing your brand would mean that you are acting out of character, that you're not being that professional that you know you are. You're not being that SME, that subject matter expert, that person that other people want to collaborate with, that person that is there to, you know, genuinely do what they love and contribute, and not necessarily worrying about what their part is in it. You just want it to be done right. All of that will always get you to the end and win all the time, but you have to really check your posture. And sometimes, you know, you're put in those situations for your growth, you know, to be able to grow in those moments, meaning you may not have gotten that recognition. Someone else was the mouthpiece. Someone else may have gotten that promotion. Someone else may have gotten that raise. If you have your posture strong and keep doing what you do best, I promise you it will pay off, and it'll propel you further than you even thought. It'll propel you further than that person that took that credit, that person that got that promotion. You'll find yourself so far above if you just stay the course and continue to do what you know you need to do, but making it even better, making your best even better, and not even worrying about who said what or whatever. Because listen, you need to not worry about anything because God sees everything. I will never forget when my mother told me that. That was one of the last things that she's ever said to me in life, in her life. And I truly believe that. So in the midst of it all, in the meantime and in between time, you have to continuously make your best even better, because it will pay off in the end, one way or the other. It really will. And it'll be well beyond what you could have imagined, but you have to stay the course. And it's not just, you know, one and done. It's not, well, I did that yesterday, I did that today. I heard what Coach Sherri said, and I was doing it for a couple of weeks and still no results. No, it may not happen like that, because there are still some lessons to be learned in that process. And if you are still feeling, you know, left out, if you're feeling like you aren't being considered or whatever, you still have those feelings. You may not be acting like you do, but you still have those feelings, then you really still are moving in that way. A lot of times we can't see how we're showing up because we think, okay, I looked in the mirror, everything is cool, all right. And then when you turn and you get that sour feeling again about what is not really happening in your life the way you think it should or that you want it to, then I had to make sure my doors are locked, because you just never know. I know I'm in a relatively safe area, but I still have to look about. But you know, sometimes when you have those feelings and they bubble up and they come out, you don't know what your face looks like. I know as a young girl, my mother used to always tell me, check your face, check your face, because that tells the story too. So in your head, it might show up on your face, but your reactions and, you know, how you move may appear to be like, oh yeah, I'm cool with this, but your whole face is telling the other side of the story. So that's why you have to make sure your posture is straight, that you are good, and you know that there's still better yet to come. And as long as you keep doing what you do, I promise you, the people that you will encounter, the opportunities that you will get will surpass what you think you are owed right where you are. So continue to make your best even better. That means learning, not thinking you know it all, not thinking that there's, you know, like I been there, done that. Like, yeah, I got it. No, you may not have it. Listen to what other people are sharing with you. Hear other points of views. Reach out to other people that have had success in somewhere similar to what you're doing and get their perspective of how you should move, what you should do next. Join organizations. You know, I was just talking with someone that is very involved in their particular occupation. You know, they are in all the organizations around that occupation and that industry. Really, it's that industry that they are involved in. So everyone that they network with is doing the same work. And so they are in a service industry where they need to find new clients and, you know, make connections with the community and different types of people. So I said, you need to join associations and organizations that is more aligned with your occupation, not your industry. Because in your industry, you all are vying for the same people. But when you go out of your industry and just focus on your occupation, you'll encounter so many different people in different realms of things that can give you other perspectives, tell you things that are trending where they're at. It may be coming your way. You can share information. It's definitely a give and take, you know. So if you're in something like sales and you say you sell, let's say shoes, just to say, and all you go to are industry specific events that are talking about shoes. Well, you want to also branch out and go into maybe sportswear. You might want to go and go to schools and go to events where there are schools, because they have sports and, you know, other things that they may need your shoes at. So go places where you can really, you know, get the bang for your buck and make that true network that's going to elevate you. Now, I'm not saying you can't get elevated and you can't network effectively within your own industry. You absolutely need to know what's trending, what's relevant in your industry. But as you continue on, you need to branch out. If you are a marketer, join marketing associations that just cross the board, all different types of industries, be it corporate, private, you know, corporate or small businesses or government or whatever. You know, you want to go into those areas that market that. It could even be real estate. How are people marketing real estate? Realtors that have you know, real estate businesses. How are people that have department stores or clothing stores or food industry, you know, how are they marketing their products? And they are lots of different organizations that target that, and or that you could just bring the new information to. So don't pigeonhole yourself. And that's another way that you can make your best better. Listen to people, take down notes. When I'm talking to someone and they're telling me something, I always have a notepad pen ready, or I may have my phone, my notes in my phone if I don't have regular pen and pad, but I'm jotting down key points that they are sharing with me. You know, that's important because I want to implement it right away. A lot of times people will go to events, they go to conferences, they go to workshops or whatever, and they are all bought in. You know, when they're there, they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But they aren't implementing what they just learned. They just learn it and they leave. You should be debriefing with your team, or if you have a partner, whatever the case may be. If it's your business, if it's your company, if it's a place of work that you have or whatever. Whenever you go to a workshop or a conference, you should be coming back and dropping down nuggets, things that y'all could implement right away, so that it will be worth the time that you were there, worth the investment, and you again are showing that you're trying to make your best better. There's always someone that can teach you something. Always know that. And if there's not, you're in the wrong circle. You need to check your circle, because your circle should be pouring into you just like you are pouring into them. And if it's not reciprocating that way, then you definitely need to find a new group. And it's not saying you can't be with that group and rock with them, but when you're trying to make your best better, what are you really doing? So again, I want to give a shout out and a happy birthday, 80th birthday, to Les Brown and his twin Wes Brown, and thanking Les for still being relevant out here, still dropping those nuggets. You're never too old. You're never, you know, too out of touch, you know, remaining in touch. And also, you know what? Well, I'll talk about that tomorrow morning, but that's all I have for you right now. Let's see. And TW Popcorn was in the building. Thank you for checking, everyone. All my mods in here, thank you. Excuse me. I need to pause. Excuse me. Y'all, I got a tickle in my throat. I must have been talking too much. All right. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Take care. Oh.